This video is brought to you by Raycon. Yeah. A few years ago, I put out a video talking about what I felt just might have been Nintendo's pettiest takedown ever. There was this very, very old guidebook for Super Mario 64, and it had a bunch of really just beautiful art in there, some just these 3D dioramas, and just really amazing. And somebody uploaded it somewhere, and Nintendo sniffed them down, and DMCA took down them. Just this little old book, not hurting anyone, really important piece of Nintendo history, and somehow they caught wind of that and told them to take it down. And it seemed so overwhelmingly petty, just so unnecessary, something not damaging them at all, and yet the takedown itself does kind of damage them, at least to a small degree. Since then, I've been waiting for the next story to kind of match that one, and this, it might be it. And I will admit that to a degree, I can see Nintendo's perspective a little more on this. It is a much bigger thing than just one small piece of content that they wanted taken down. I do get that, and yet there's this little part of me that still feels like this is kind of on the same level as far as just pettiness goes, just being so completely unnecessary and really just damaging to them. But let's talk about it. Let's get into the specifics. So Garry's Mod, that is a game released by Valve. I have not played it, but I believe it's just basically a big sandbox, build whatever you want kind of thing. It's community driven. It's got a bunch of assets from Valve's various games in it, but then other people, massive community of people just creating assets to put in there, using those assets to make silly videos. Loads and loads of memes have come out of there, and I'm absolutely entirely disconnected from just the whole Valve sphere, you know what I mean? Played Portal, and that's basically it. And yet this is it's a very big thing. Again, the memes that have come out of it, it's a really big thing, and it's been a big thing apparently for nearly 20 years now, which, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And naturally, as a community-driven game where people are able to just create their own assets, put them in the game, use them, remix them however they want, naturally there's Nintendo stuff in there. There just is. Any community-driven, creative kind of game, there's gonna be a bunch of Nintendo stuff. There's gonna be stuff from all over the place, you know? Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, Breaking Bad. It is literally anything. That's natural. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that any of the properties or companies represented in this community-driven content in Garry's Mod, I don't believe anybody has objected to that at all. Because in a way, Garry's Mod isn't even really a game. It's a platform. It's basically like a social media platform. You know, it's like going on Twitter and making a meme about Nintendo, or art from a Nintendo series, and just putting it there so people can just see it and use it, and there it can be remixed, it can be changed. It's a community thing. Sure, Garry's Mod is a video game, but yeah, I would argue it's just a sandbox thing. It's not a game. You know what I mean? Okay. And yet, Nintendo has decided that enough is enough. They don't want any of their stuff in the game anymore. And they have ordered Valve to step in and remove it all. Get rid of it all right now. In the official statement, Valve said, "Some of you may have noticed that certain Nintendo-related workshop items have recently been taken down. This is not a mistake. The takedowns come from Nintendo." And a little bit later, "If you want to help us by deleting your Nintendo-related uploads and never uploading them again, that would help us a lot." So basically, the onus is on Valve to get rid of all this stuff. But it's hey, everybody, there's a lot on there. So if you're seeing this and you put something up, boy howdy, boy golly gosh, it would help us a lot if you would just go ahead and delete it yourself. Because it is going to be deleted. Just just please help us out. And at this point, it is worth noting that there are a lot of people who seem to be under the impression that this was not issued by Nintendo, this takedown, but actually some sort of patent troll, someone by the name of Aaron Peters, I guess, and it is possible that there was a person who was impersonating companies and issuing a bunch of bogus takedowns in various places, and a lot of people seem to be completely sure that this was the case here, but then the founder of Face Punch Studios, which is the studio that makes Garry's Mod, Garry Newman, I presume that is the Garry himself, he says, "I have been assured that the takedowns have been verified by Nintendo as legit, so this will now continue as planned. Sorry." And then a funny little emoji of putting the mushroom in the trash. I like that. I only just noticed that. And I will say it would be a little bit suspicious if this other copyright patent troll or whatever was doing a bunch of stuff pretty recently, and then kind of just by coincidence, Nintendo came in and wanted, I don't really know that, but like he says it has been verified by Nintendo. And I presume that if they wanted to verify this, they have means other than random emails. These are big companies. They talk to each other on the phone when appropriate. They have their lawyers contact each other. If he says it's legit, it has been verified. Verified. They have spoken with someone at Nintendo and confirmed that this is true. So I'm willing to put that whole thing aside with the Aaron Peters or whatever and just say that I don't know what's going on with that. But this seems to be true. Nintendo has told Valve they have to take down all of the Nintendo stuff in Garry's Mod. Before we continue, a quick reminder that this video was sponsored by Raycon. I use my Raycon Everyday Earbuds, well, I mean, basically every day. The name is accurate. They offer a much comfier fit than other earbuds I've tried, and I can wear them for hours and hours while I work, while I cook, while I go for walks. They give me 8 hours of playtime and 32 total hours of battery life, thanks to the convenient charging case. Raycons already looked and sounded great, and boasted a host of great features, like multiple sound profiles for different listening experiences, and the ability to take calls easily. Oh, but it gets better! Raycon just launched their upgraded model of the everyday earbuds, and it's a doozy. They're better than ever and come with even more features like active noise cancellation, quick charging, and multi-point connectivity so you can connect multiple devices at once. Plus, they just look that much cooler now. I'm especially fond of the blue ones, no particular reason. If you want to try out the next generation of everyday earbuds, hit the link in the description or head to buyraycon.com/Arlo to get 20% off your purchase and free shipping. All orders come with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, so you got nothing to lose. Thanks again to Raycon. Oh yeah. We're still doing a thing. Let's get back to that. And like I said earlier, I can kind of see Nintendo's perspective a little bit more in this case. You know, like this isn't quite like that Mario guidebook where it's just one piece of content. This is a lot of content. This is a tremendous amount of content. This is content that is being downloaded and shared and used by just like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people. It's a lot of different mods and levels, and I mean, you know, you can basically make games within Garry's Mod, right? So it is a lot. It is a lot of Nintendo content. So like, I sort of see that. I sort of see how like you could be playing one of these mods and there could be a Nintendo related thing in it, and you could, I don't know, record that and then put it online, and look, it's kind of like a game where there's a kind of Mario character, except they're doing something lewd or violent, or like sort of, kind of, maybe, almost, kinda get it. But then there's just like, there's so much that swings it the other way. One, it's just Garry's Mod. You're not gonna take down everything. You're not gonna stop all of the Nintendo content across all of the other platforms on the internet, across all of the other, you know, game engines. And I mean, like, people can make mods with Nintendo stuff. They do it a lot. They do it all the time. It's really just one case. And like, sure, it's probably a pretty big one. You know, Garry's Mod, it's a big thing. There's a really big community. So like, if you're gonna take down any one of them, I guess that makes sense, but it's still just one. You're not gonna stop this stuff. And then furthermore, what took you so long? What took you so long? Almost 20 years. 2006 is when this game came out. It's 18 years of content. Why now? Why now? You waited so long. You waited so long. People who weren't even born yet when the game came out are now grown-ups with jobs, driving cars, voting. And all of this time, it kind of seemed like, well, this must be okay. It must be all right because Nintendo hasn't done anything about it. Why now? Just why now? Especially because, like, if you're taking it down now because you feel like it's doing something wrong or, you know, some damage is being done to the company, but that wasn't happening all of these years, like, clearly this hasn't been a problem. Clearly nothing bad has come of this whatsoever. And it's extra frustrating because it's this, Nintendo is so weird. In some ways, they've gotten better. They used to not want anyone doing anything Nintendo related on YouTube at all. Those were dark, dark days. You know, around like Wii U time. They hated all of the internet. They didn't want anyone talking about Nintendo. They didn't realize that it's just free advertising. And eventually they came around on the YouTube stuff, and that was great. So then, like, but then here, they still have this backwards thinking, and that's frustrating. And I can sort of understand it again, because this, you know, with that, it was just like gameplay. Like, that was purely free advertising. It's really not a case of free advertising on Garry's mod. It really is just playing with Nintendo stuff. But that's the thing, though. It's playing with Nintendo stuff. It's not being monetized. It's not being used to create things that will be monetized. It's literally just playing. It's like that Dreams game on PlayStation, you know? That's how people were, like, creating whole, like, Sonic levels, and they're just, like, they're really incredible, and it's really great, and it's seen as a great thing, and Sega's cool with it. But when it comes to playing with some of the most iconic characters in gaming history, just messing around with them, sure, you get the lewd stuff and the violent stuff, but, like, it's just playing. And even if an old Nintendo executive could argue that that's bad for their image, those images and videos and things could get out and people would see them, and that negatively affects our company. It's just like, practically speaking, it's not really happening. It's not really gonna happen. People know what memes are. They just do. Nobody is seeing this stuff with Mario with a gun or whatever and being upset about it or being like, oh, this reflects poorly on... Like, practically speaking, it's not a thing. It's imaginary. It's not real. And if there is some tiny just molecule of damage being done to the company, it is nothing compared to the loss of just goodwill that is happening to them now. Just another petty takedown, another thing making everybody mad and just being like, wow, Nintendo, they're a bunch of real sticks in the mud, you know? This reflects so much more poorly on Nintendo as a whole. I mean, just like, you can't even put a number to it. Just how much more damaging this is. It's petty. It's unnecessary. And especially after all these years, it seems just even more unnecessary, even more mean, you know? It's like you're an old guy in a house and you've got this really big, beautiful front lawn. And the kids just love to come and play on it. They play baseball. They've built tree houses. They've built a skate park and all this stuff. And for 18 years, you have let them without saying a single thing about it. It seems like you must be cool with it. You must even enjoy it because everybody, it's like a park. It's a playground. Everybody comes and hangs out. And then one day, just one day, you bulldoze the whole thing and put up a gate and put up signs saying, never again. It's mean. It's just mean. It's just kind of like, why? How was this hurting you? Clearly it didn't seem like it was. And even that's not a perfect metaphor because kids are loud, and if they're on your lawn, you're gonna hear it. Maybe you just get fed up. But that's not the point, though. You get what I'm trying to say. It's really just a bad look for Nintendo, and it makes them seem even more out of touch, and it's really frustrating. And suffice it to say, the Garry's Mod community is not taking it with exceptional grace. Let's just say that. They're not super happy about it. and it seems that they don't want to go out without a fight, and I sort of understand that. I hope that they come. I get the frustration, but at the same time, like, don't make Valve's job any harder. They're just doing what they feel they have to do. Don't put up a fight. Just take it all down. Make it easy, please. So there you have it. That's the story. It is Nintendo being Nintendo. Unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, but it's frustrating. But it also is what it is, I guess, and it probably won't be the last case of Nintendo doing this kind of thing, issuing this kind of completely unnecessary takedown that only reflects poorly on them. Please let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and have a lovely day. I love you. I love you. Really have a good day, though. Really do. Please do. I love you.